to 9 months, and they're really big, really puffy. And it doesn't really go with today's video anyway to show my face, because today is focused on you, with a little mix-up of my routine. So I came up with this video because of today's sponsor. Yes, I know the past 3 videos have been sponsored. However, I always put my sponsors to the end of the month. So if you're new here, welcome to our family, and I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that, and we'll get started. Hey family, before we begin, tonight's video is once again and proudly sponsored by FabFitFun. I've been both working and a member of FabFitFun for years and years, but just in case you missed the memo, curated in California, FabFitFun is a lifestyle subscription where you get 6 full-size products every season from top brands across beauty, wellness, skincare, fashion, and more. As a FabFitFun member, I get access to shop exclusive flash sales with top brands such as Fenty Beauty, Coach, Olaplex, and so much more for up to 70% off. I mean, the average member saves $500 in their first season. I recently did an ASMR video using the Seasons Box products to guess the ASMR trigger, and today I'm going to be showing you how I use those products in my daily life. But first, if you click the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen and use code KarunaSatoriGift, you can get a free gift valued at $200 with a new annual membership. Annual members get first dibs on choosing box products, earlier shipping, and first access to flash sales. You also save an additional $60 per year going annual, so I definitely recommend doing annual because you get the most out of it. Each box has a value of up to $350, but when you use my code for an annual membership, each box is only $55. And now that you're all caught up on FabFitFun, let me show you how these products in this season's box accompany me all before 12 p.m. Firstly, we have the Mirahat Daily Exfoliating Cleanser, valued at $37. I use first thing upon waking, and this beautiful waffle robe by Line & Dot, valued at $78. I throw on both day and night. The third product being Bloom's 12 count of green sticks superfoods, valued at $21.98. I mix with water first thing to get my daily servings of vitamins and nutrients. And before putting on my makeup for the day, I use my fourth product, which is Beautology Labs 24 karat gold collagen eye masks, valued at $42, and wakes my puffy eyes up for the day. I see everyone and their mother using these, so I was so excited to be able to pick that for this season's box. And last upon least, before getting ready for the day, I have my last 2 products. I'll use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in the color Peachy Love, valued at $30, and finish off by spraying my Lifestyle & Co. Intention Perfume Spray, valued at $40, and it smells amazing. All 6 products used in my daily routine before noon. So family, with that being said, don't forget to click the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen to use code KarunaSatoriGift for a free gift valued at over $200 with the new annual membership. Thank you so much FabFitFun for sponsoring tonight's video, and let's just get right into it, family. I came up with today's video again because of FabFitFun, just because of like the items used, and one of them I'm going to be using on you today. This video is going to be me doing your makeup using exactly my routine. So I have had the same exact makeup routine since I was 14 years old. The only difference is being able to afford more, if you want, or if you will, high-end products. I use everything from Ulta. I have very specific brands I use. But back in the day when I couldn't have anything, I would be using what today would have been dupes. So everything I use today has kind of evolved from those drugstore dupes that I would use long ago. And I'm going to be judged by the cleanliness of my brushes. I understand. This brush I have used since literally probably 2015. I've never changed it. I know. Don't come for me. So let's get started right away. Let's not waste any more time. The first product I use after washing my face is exactly how I do my makeup. is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, Magic Cream, Magic Cream. This is a very expensive, very ridiculously expensive product. I usually put it on my wish list, so because it's just too expensive to keep using one like every 1 to 3 months. However, there is a dupe for this product. I know it's like from residual makeup flying around in my vanity, and that is Cetaphil. It's the Cetaphil like facial moisturizer. Literally $100 to like $15. That's a ridiculous amount of savings, but I still use the brand deal, or the brand name, you know what I mean. So I go ahead and apply this first. Let me go ahead and just... Also, don't mind the nails. I'm trying to give my nails a break from the glue-ons. I used to get them done all the time. I used to get acrylics in the beginning like we all did back in the 2000s, and then I moved up to the dip nails, where they dip it in the powder and then dip it in the powder and they file. It's the same damage. I don't care what they say. They say healthy nail or dip powder makes it healthier. It's a lie. But just apply a little bit more down here. I know you're like in the table today, aren't you? You're like right down here. I can't scoop you up because I just don't want you to see me today. But I do want to be with you, and that's why we're here. So I usually let that sit. So while that sits for a minute, I started recently using these, like, they're like Amazon. They're from Amazon. There's a different brand, but if you just look up little lash clusters, they'll come up. I started using them on the edge of my eyes because they give a more flared cat eye look. And again, I've had the same exact makeup look since I was like 14. I've always done a cat eye on my eye. So now that your moisturizer's settled a little bit, I use a very moisturizing primer, and I always buy the travel sizes because I don't know if you know this, but it's actually more expensive to buy the tall sizes or the full size products at Ulta. So I always do travel sizes. You still get like half an ounce more. And the primer that I use is the Smashbox, and that is the Photo Finish Primerizer Plus Hydrating Primer. If my nails look dirty, they're really not. I think it's just from the lighting, but I'm so self-conscious whenever there's nothing pretty on them. But yeah, always get, just a little tip, get the travel sizes at Ulta if you can. For example, I'm going to be using Shape Tape. The only reason I have a full-size product from Ulta is because they had a birthday gift deal, or not a birthday gift deal, but you got and I actually have the little sample. You get a man-eater mascara with it, so that's why I have a full-size product. I always try to save because it's expensive, and even though they sell drugstore products at Ulta, it's kind of backwards considering the prices are still higher. You always want to get drugstore products at Walmart. I don't know why they even call them drugstore products, considering at the drugstore they're like 50% more. Alright, I actually don't rub products in my hand. I don't know why I did that, but we still have enough. I actually just kind of dab, like stipple, like flick it on my face almost. I almost flick it. And I dab, and then I rub all over my face. I smooth under my chin just because I don't want any like edges of foundation to kind of get all over the skin. You know what I mean? I try to have a, what's the word I'm looking for? Glossy, or not flawless, but less splotchy. I don't want to, like whenever makeup oxidizes, which I can't control for myself, I always let the primer kind of settle just for a few moments. I want to get the makeup on as fast as I can when the primer sets. Back in the day, one thing that's changed in my makeup routine is I've switched from a brush to a beauty blender. I will say this, the best beauty blender that's ever been out there wasn't by Beauty Blender, but it was by Morphe, and it was the, what was it called? Anybody can look it up. It was a collab that Morphe did, and it was a blue beauty blender, and it was so soft, and I'm telling you right now, they don't have it anymore. You can't buy it online, it's nowhere. But it was the best beauty blender I've ever used in my entire life. So I'm going to go wet the beauty blender, and then I'll be right back. You know, when I got up, I was kind of curious because I have my brightness at a full volume, and I was like, it's kind of a little bit grainy, but these types of videos are my favorite just because they're so, I don't know, like they're just kind of unintentional, but at the same time not. So I don't like perfection. I don't like high-end ASMR visuals. I hate it. Like, I have stuck to my same creator, Minx Laura, for I don't know how long. But back to the deal. Back to the dealio. The foundation I use is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the color 1 because I am extremely pale. There's a filter on TikTok, and it's like pale skin, and I'm actually whiter than the actual filter. It's insane. You should go look it up. Like, I'll have to post it to my stories or something, but I do this with my foundation to shake it. They sell these professional, like, they say it's not for foundation. I don't know what it's for necessarily, but you shake your foundation this way. Don't do it like this. It's like nail polish. You never shake your nail polish like this. You do it like that. But yeah, it shakes it up really nice doing it like this. Okay. Anyway, with my pale skin, I have gold undertones, so I remember in KVD Beauty, I would have had the lightest shade, but it had like, I think it was like peachy undertones, but anything cool is what I need. I don't have like olive skin or anything. So with me, I literally, you're gonna laugh at this. This is like when Jeffree Star did Tana Mojo's makeup routine or whatever. It's kind of embarrassing. I literally just pump it in my hands and then dab it on my face. And then I use the beauty blender and I just kind of smear it. Like, I know it's ridiculous. It's probably where I fail in the routine, but let's go ahead and get that all over your face. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, and what I do now is I kind of move from out in. A lot of people would say to move inward, outward, but I kind of get everything to come into the cheeks or by the nose and the chin and everything like that. Oh my god, I almost forgot 2 steps, but I can change it, so we need to erase this actually. I don't put my foundation on directly after I put my primer on. I put my concealer on first. So your foundation should be okay to sit for a moment. I use 2 concealers. So just to recap, moisturizer, primer, concealer, and then foundation. I use 2 different concealers. One is a thick concealer. It is the Benefit Bowing in number 1. And I put that right under my eyes in the little blue spot, dark circled spots. I can't believe I forgot that. I'm so used to doing like makeup role plays and doing it like very simplistic that I forgot that I'm ridiculous and I pile a bunch of it on my face. So, as you can see, I'm almost out of like all of these products, but I need to re-up. And I literally just kind of swipe or no swiping. Swipe or no swiping, swipe or no swiping, swipe or no swiping, swipe or no swiping, swipe or no swiping. Sometimes I'll apply this right under here and put it on my chin. And the reason I do that is because when I'm eating and if I have lipstick on, every once in a while, like my lip will touch my chin and give like whatever color lipstick on there. And this kind of prevents it for myself, I guess. And the other concealer I use is the Shape Tape Creamy by Tarte in number 1. Everything you see is probably in number 1 because, again, I'm like a glow stick, so. And I do still always put a little bit of concealer on my chin here. Good. Again, I just have a little bit too much redness on my skin, on my chin area, and then again, whenever the lipstick touches, it just makes everything. Okay, now that we've put the concealer on, we would now be putting on the foundation, but again, I mixed it up. So we're ready now, but I think I know where I messed up here. I always blend the concealer last, so that's probably why I put the foundation on, that or the role play. So again, I kind of work my way out and in instead of in and out. I just want to get everything inward. I want the most coverage to be on my cheeks by my nose, because that's where all the redness is. I recently started using this, what was it? It's like a microneedling treatment at home, and they give you like a 3-month supply. You only do it every 2 weeks, so you're paying like almost $200 for 3 treatments, literally like 3 treatments. They're like, yeah, you get 3 months supply of this stuff. I mean, again, you don't need to microneedle that often. However, I was like, this stuff's not going to work, because as somebody who gets like filler and all of those good things, it really is difficult to believe in certain creams. Like, all of my skincare is all by so medical, but it's sold by like injector brands, right? So we're saving the eyes for last again. I still do the chin, so I put foundation over the concealer on the chin. I might be doing all of this wrong in real life, but it's worked for me this long and I've got this far, so I think I'm doing it okay. But anyway, back to microneedling. Like, all of these things, like, you never anticipate them to work, because the only things that truly work are surgeries and injections. So they're selling these beauty products to people like me who are desperate to get rid of lines that can't be fixed without surgery or Botox, which I can't get. I get dermal filler in my forehead now because I can't get Botox because of my allergy. So I'm like, no, this stuff's not gonna work. I went ahead and bought it anyway, like late night 3 a.m. shopping type deal. And right now we're getting up in the cheeks and under the eyes. And the first time I used it, it said you'll see immediate results within like a week. And I was like, no, you're not. I was like, no, I'm in the follicular phase. Like, my skin's good because of this. But I'm telling you now, this stuff worked like magic. I don't know how. I know that microneedling kind of like tries to resurface the skin or promotes like hyaluronic acid. Like yesterday when I got my lips done, I got what's called RHA, and it's a filler that mimics your natural hyaluronic acid production or something like that. Okay, so I think I've got everything kind of blended in, and then under the eyes I have to like kind of pat really hard because I have really deep under eye circles. For you, your skin's perfect, so I literally just am as about gentle as I would be otherwise. Now that we've got everything, we've got a base, we've got everything on there, we need powder. And that's the only thing I forgot, so 1 second till I go get that. Yeah, I was surprised that I forgot the powder. My daughter gave me this to carry all of the makeup in, and it filled it up. I used to think like, oh, for my makeup I don't use a ton of products, but I think it's more like I use more brushes than anything. So onto the powder. Don't come for me for the mess. Again, it's all residual makeup. I do my makeup on my vanity, so all the powder goes everywhere, and I guess the world's seeing this, so I guess I could have cleaned it off. But anyway, I don't really have a preference of brand. That just spilled everywhere. I don't really have a brand preference for powder. I decided to start using the, I guess, trend of like peachy powder. It's like a peachy powder or like an orange colored powder, pink, I guess. And this is the Bake and Set Brightening Pink Powder by Morphe. I was using Charlotte Tilbury for a while, and then I switched over to a MAC product. It was like clumped, and you had to like swipe it off, but it was like too thick on my skin. So this actually is working really well. It's really soft. It doesn't oxidize my makeup like very quickly. Like, my makeup still lasts all day, even in the luteal phase when things are really bad. So after I've got my concealer and foundation, we put this on. you're like, don't put this stuff on my face, this is filthy. And I'm like, I don't blame you, but you gotta do it for the tingles. Tingle, 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 tingles. Yeah, look at this. This is a mess. Oh my god. But this is about as much as I use regardless, so I'm just gonna put this over here. And what I do is, I recently got a new brush, and this is a Morphe brush, I believe. Yes, this is the M161 powder brush by Morphe. Petition for all birds to drop dead. Okay, I'm sorry, we live in the mountains, and our house is surrounded by different birds' nests. The only birds that can stay, or fowls, whatever, are owls. The owls that are fowls can stay. So what I do is I kind of edge. No, Gooner, I'm not edging. I'm saying I edge around the brush with the powder, and I go in the creases of my eyes first, and then up between the brows and on the forehead in like a spin motion, so like this. So I kind of twist, other eye, and then twist with the last part, and I kind of and then I go back in, and I kind of now tilt it like this, tilt it like this, tilt it like this, and get the whole surrounding. And I do like a swiping motion, like a swiping motion like that. And then I swipe inward, swipe inward, swipe inward, swipe inward to the cheeks. Swipe inward, swipe inward, swipe inward, swipe inward. Kind of like do the jawline and everything, and I always go below. That way, there is no like caking or creasing. And then last but not least, I do the nose. So I just take whatever's left, do the nose. If there's anything extra like over here, I just do the eyes again. The good news about me and my eye makeup is it never truly has to be perfect, although I would like to say I do a rather good cat eye because I'm so used to it. My glasses prescription is so strong, -12 and 13 with bullseye maculopathy. I'm going blind, literally, I'm not kidding. That's a whole story time I wanted to do. Is when you look me directly in the face, you can see the warp in my glasses, but you can't see the imperfections because of how strong the magnetism is, right? So it kind of warps it. So it kind of makes it look good, but at the same time, I'm wrecked. Okay, so next, in my makeup routine, I've used the same, it's a bronzer because my skin is too white for contouring, like it can't be a dark powder. So all I do is I bronze my whole face, and I'm going to show you how I do that. What I do, and this needs replaced too, is this is the Hoola Light. What color is this? It doesn't show. It's just the Hoola Light bronzer in 2B01. There's no name for it. But they don't make the brushes with this anymore for some reason. They recently stopped selling these with the brushes. So I just take like this, and I'll go on the temples of my face. So I'm going to do them on the temples and kind of, and then I kind of brush upwards on the forehead, right at the top of my hairline. Luckily my hair is back to its natural color, so the bronzer can go right in my hair and nobody's gonna know. Other side on the temple, and then I kind of brush upwards. And I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not gonna blend it just yet, because then I switch over to the, oh wait, that's not the right brush. I switch over to this brush, and this is the angled shading brush in R11. I got this actually in a FabFitFun box like last year, which is so funny because this video is sponsored by FabFitFun. And I do this like this, and I'll go and literally make 2 lines, like a crease of 2 lines on my nose to kind of give it like a sharp bridge look. So literally, I just go shoop, 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 tap, 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 tap again, shoop, shoop, shoop. Sometimes I do this, but other times I'm just... And then I blend, but hold on, we're not done with that yet. So I'm going to put this, we're done with this brush though. I don't know the brand name of that brush because again, it's older. If you've ever seen these, you can get them at the dollar store, you can get them anywhere. They're like these little like squishy powder brushes. And all I do sometimes, if I was using the wrong powder product, I would always dab it on my face to absorb any extra powder or oil. However, I use these now for two reasons. One is to blend the nose, because as much as I want a sharp bridge at the corners of my nose, I don't want it to be like too sharp of a line. So I bend it like this. That's why you can see all this up here. And I go to my nose and I just like that. Just like that. Just like that. And that kind of gives a natural look, in my opinion, at least for me, because I wear glasses, so you're not going to see how the sharpness lines go straight up on the nose. And I only do, again, on the sides of my nose, not the bridge necessarily, so the bottom is blended, whereas the bridge still has that sharp powder line without it being too much, because you're getting a little blending, if that makes sense. And then last is I take my 2016 unwashed, thick as can be, full of bacteria brush. Don't worry, you are completely clean on your end, and I'm just putting this powder on your face. You can't transfer anything, you're good, nothing, you can relax. And I just, because since it's almost out, I have to like make sure I get it all over the brush. And just for the ASMR's sake, I'm not going to slam this off the chair, but I'll literally, like, since there's none left and I can't really save any powder, I'll slam it like really hard off the side of the chair just to get excess powder on. And I'll make the little fishy face, which is what I kind of look like now with my lips as a fish until they settle. And I just, in the creases of my cheek, very little, you know what, maybe I can show you without showing my lips. Like that. Can you see it? Like that. And then I'll do the same on the other side. Like that. Right? And then that's it for the bronzer. I put this in. And then I go ahead and I put this away. I don't use this anymore. There shouldn't even be powder on here because it should be used, but I didn't want to use too much, so we got one side. This is such a thick brush, but I never want to use the same brush as I blend with. I don't know what it is. I know it's wrong. I don't know. They say there's a right way to do makeup, and there really is a way that can make it look flawless, but I'm so used to my routine. And I think whenever I filled up that bag, I was like, oh my god, I have so many products. Again, I think it's all brushes. So this brush is also by Morphe. I don't know what it is, but I love Morphe brushes. Back in the Jaclyn Hill days, before, or like after she was like the MAC queen. Okay, so what I do now is I start blending everywhere. So I go back to my temples and I blend in that bronzer up into my hairline. And then I come down and continue onto the cheeks, back up into the hairline, temples, and down into the cheeks. Good. Okay, so there's all the bronzing, and now we're going to move on to the eyes. However, whenever I said earlier is like I brought in a product, every once in a while I will use blush. I've been using blusher a lot the past few months, but not as often, not every time I do makeup. And this I got in the FabFitFun box. Anastasia Beverly Hills, I usually just use their like brow pencils. I mean, nowadays, since I have microbladed brows, I usually just go over it with like a tint color just to fill, because it's been a while. But this is a Morphe, this is like a blush brush. I'm not sure which number it is, it doesn't have it marked. But I used the lightest color again. I'm using this one, or not this one, I'm sorry. I know this seems lighter than this, but this is brighter, and on my pale skin it works. So I don't like, I kind of put it on my cheeks, like the apples of my cheeks, but I also put it where the bronzer was, right above it, to give like a Neapolitan look whenever I put in highlighters. So I'm just gonna come in and kind of put this in the right above the crease where I bronzed on your cheeks, so you can make the kissy face or not. You have beautiful cheekbones, so I really don't have to worry about it. And then can you go ahead and give me a big smile? I'm just gonna put the remainder right over here on your cheek, little cheek apples, cheek apples, cheek apples, little cheek apples, cheek apples, cheek apples, little chicas, chica, chica, chica. Okay. So now we can finally work to the eyes, which is pretty much the last step other than the brows. And the brows require 2 products, so we're not too far off from the end, I promise. So because I have hooded eyes, little tip, instead of using tape, a lot of people with hooded eyes tape the creases of their brows. I use just a regular card that I got somewhere. This is from Trimperides, which is probably from last year when we went to Ocean City. This was probably the Boardwalk amusement park, I think. Anyway, okay, so this palette is sad, it's broken, and it's all used up. So this is my Midnight Dune by Morphe. I really do like Morphe, I guess. I have so many Morphe products, I never realized that I pretty much use all Charlotte Tilbury and Morphe, and then I have some Urban Decay, but other than that, there's a lot of products here. But yeah, this is the 9M Midnight Dune by Morphe. It's relatively new, it's within the year, but I've used it every day. Like, what I'll do is I'll have a palette, and I have 2 colors. I never do anything dramatic because, again, my prescription is so high. So what I'll do is I'll just like pick 2. Yeah, see, it finally broke off. I actually am surprised it fell off during the video. You can see, oh, whatever, I'll just hook it on after, but this one's really used up. I only use, like, oh my god, that looks like a person. Looks like a clown. Like the clown from Sid Haig in House of a Thousand Corpses or The Devil's Rejects. Yeah, that's what that looks like. I'm probably gonna scare you off the video, but anyway. I usually use like a shimmer on the lid and then something in the crease, like nothing dramatic. So anyway, recently I've been using this color right here on the outer crease and then this right here on the lid. Funny enough, backwards what I just said. I have 2 brushes that I use for my eyes, and recently I have the Morphe. These don't have numbers, so this is just like a blending brush for your eyes. Like a blender. And then I have a flat brush. And this one is, oh wait, this is the one that I got in the FabFitFun box, not the other one, so scrap that. This is the Firma 204 because I remember talking about it. And this I just use for like patting on the lid. So what I do, and I'm going to do to you, is I'm going to put this card up to the corner of your eye and make a sharp crease with a light color. Then I'm going to take this brush and pat on the lid, and then I'm going to do the blending. So let's get our brush nice and saturated with color. And this is how I do it. I just kind of roll it in there and then a little bit dab and then. Okay. I'm going to take that card and I put it like where the end of my hooded eye, like where the corner of my eye ends, like what the hood starts. That way I can get a nice darkness, and then I kind of blend it under the lid, like under my eyelid on the bottom, so it's like all saturated. It gives like a big eye look, right? And then while I do that, I kind of am blending the lid around, blending the lid around, and do it on the other side. So let me do this again. to blend it all the way up to the brow, but I leave a little bit of line under the brow that way. I don't have a full-blown, like, eyeshadow eye. And then I fix what's necessary. Sometimes I just use my fingers, it doesn't matter, but we're done with the card for now. And then let's take our flat brush, take a little bit of matte powder, nothing shimmery, and we're just going to put it right over the lid in the crease. So go ahead and close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Good. Every once in a while, if I'm a little bit messy, I'll go back with the blending brush and then just kind of, because I already did the crease, so I can just do it this way and then like brush outwards like that. So just cleaning you up here, because your eyes are beautiful. You can't get away with it because you actually have beautiful, gorgeous eyes. You can't afford to be messy like I can, because you're not trash. Okay, anyway. And then next, I have used the same eyeliner. Even when I was broke, I always tried to get this eyeliner. And this is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. You can tell this is an old one because it still has Kat Von D on it, not KVD Beauty. But that is the one thing I haven't like left the brand with. Like, I still get the exact same eyeliner because it's so damn good. And it's in the color Trooper Black, by the way. And how I do this, like, a lot of people with hooded eyes wonder how to do like a cat eye. And there's no way I can show you on my eye right now, so I'm going to try to describe this to you while I do it. I start in the very corners first, and I make a weird face, like a SpongeBob face, like I stretch my mouth down like an open mouth fish, right? That way it stretches all the wrinkles, all the hood down. And I draw a very short line. So go ahead and my eyes are like open, but not fully open. So like make the mouth of an open fish. Go in, and then I kind of draw just a little line in the front to give like the beginning of the cat eye, right? Like that. I do it on the other eye. Keep your mouth open like that. Keep that face. And right at the corner of the eye where the eye opens in the front, I'm going to do a little line. And that gives that sharp cat eye look in the front, right? And then where I use that card to put the eyeshadow on the ends, I use it on the very outer end of my crease. So you kind of already have a base to where to just draw the line up. And sometimes, because I have wrinkles in the corner of my eye and I don't want to mess it up, I'll go up from down. So I'm going to just do up from down and draw one line, right? So we're at the outer eye now where the eyeshadow met. Just going to draw one line like that. On the other side, one line like that. Good. Now, this is like the easy part in my opinion, because never draw from the tip, like the very outer tip of the crease, and draw inward to finish the cat eye. You want to go about a little bit underneath and leave the tip out of it, because if you have hooded eyes, when you open your eye fully, it's going to fold and mess up the whole line. So I'm just going to brush, kind of color it in outwards and attach it to the lid now. But we don't want to start from the very outer tip. We want to go under a little bit and bring it in like that. Outer tip and bring it in like that. And then you have connected to the lid. All you need to do now is just finish your lid. So go back to where I started, where I made the little line, and then just follow it up over the lid. So follow it up over the lid, follow it up over the lid, follow it up over the lid, over the lid. Follow it up over the lid, follow it up over the lid, follow it up over the lid, over the lid. And you're done. And then immediately after that, I go ahead and I put on my mascara. I have never stuck to one specific mascara. However, I have stuck to a specific brush type. So when I learned about Tarte's Man-Eater mascara, which is hilarious, it's so funny with FabFitFun because like a lot of this stuff I just got in boxes, right? I got a full size in last season's box of Man-Eater, but this one came with the sample, and that's why I have a full-size Shape Tape. That's so funny. That has no like correlation to FabFitFun, but the specific brush type, because of having hooded eyes, and with hooded eyes, if you have like a fuzzy brush and you're brushing up on your lashes, like it always gets on top of your lid and it ruins your eyeshadow and all this. These sharp, like, I don't know if it'll work, these sharp outer lid like brushes that are really hard, like they don't get on your lid or anything, so go ahead. And I never open my eyes wide and blink, and yes, I shut my mouth when I put on my mascara, so go ahead and just blink. I'm just telling you to blink, but I never do. I just hurry up and I do this because I have hooded eyes. Like I go back and forth and put a bunch of product on the lash, and then I brush, and then I brush. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then I brush. Now look up. I kind of just do the same on the bottom lash too. So again. Up. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, up, and brush, and brush, and brush, and brush, and brush, and then the lower, back and forth, and brush down just a little bit, just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna let that sit before we put these lashes on until we're done with the makeup. So I only have 2 more products. The last 2 products I have are a gel base and the tint. So most people with the gel base, they would tell you to do your brow and then put the gel base on last. This is why I am the way I am. I put the gel base on first, and this is the Benefits 24-Hour Brow Setter, and this one has all of the stuff mixed off of it. So this is the Benefit Brow Tint, and it's in the color 3.5 because I have my hair at its natural color again for the most part. I used to use a 3, and now I use a 3.5. 3 was soft brown, I believe, and this is like auburn or something. My natural hair is like dark red. It's like red brown. I don't know how to explain it, but I use 3.5 if you're interested. But both of these products are Benefit. It's the only thing I miss about long nails is like the tapping on products. Like, it's just not as crisp without them. So what I do, don't make fun of me for this, what I'm going to do is kind of just smear this on the brow completely. Just trust the process. So I'm going to go ahead up here and smear this whole product on your brow, and it's going to get kind of crispy really quickly, so I'm working quickly. I usually just flip this around and do it again, so right there over the brow. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and brush it up. Brush all your little hairs up. Brush it up, 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 and then the other side. Brush it up, 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 brush it up. Good. Now, since I'm working quickly at this point, I have to. I hurry up and take this, and I'm almost out of all my products. And now I'm gonna mix that in with the brow stuff, with the brow gel. So I'm just mixing it in, kind of, mixing it in, kind of, mixing it in, kind of. And I'm swiping, no swiping. I'm swiping, no swiping to get all that color in. And it kind of does your brows for you if you have like hair on your brows. If you don't, you're stuck with using a pencil. I'm sorry, but even after I lost my thyroid, I was somehow able to keep my eyebrow hair. A lot of people with Graves' disease or Hashimoto's, it's funny because they know that their body's hypothyroid when they lose their eyebrow hair. It's like a very common symptom. I went hypo, and that's how I ended up gaining 30 pounds. I lost it now, but when I gained it all, I didn't have that symptom. Like, that was the only thing that I was like, why didn't I lose my eyebrow hair? And I'm like, I can keep my eyebrow hair, but not my real hair. I'm just always losing it. So we are done. So what I'm going to do now, well, we're kind of done, is I'm going to go ahead and use setting spray. We'll get to the lashes very last. I'm waiting for that mascara to dry on you. This is the All Nighter Urban Decay setting spray. I'm going to be completely honest. I've always used Urban Decay products. Like, I used to love their palettes. I have their eyeshadow primer upstairs, everything like that, right? And some of their palettes, or I think I said that, but anyway. I just can't get into their setting sprays. I'm almost done with this, so I'm just using it up. If you have a suggestion, any of you, for a setting spray that will, and don't say like the oil-free one or the matte one. I need something that's not going to make my face oily. I'm spraying at a distance. I'm not spraying too much. I know I'm doing it right. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover your face right here and... Good. Oh my gosh, I spilled that there. I have a little flip fan that broke, so I have to kind of make it myself when I open it. I remember Peter Ma on that drama channel used to do the flip fan. Is he still around being dramatic these days, like crying and whining about his circumstances, or did he finally get it together? I don't know. And don't come for me for him. He always, like, had that fake empathetic personality, and people were always feeling bad for him, and blah, 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 blah. This was back in the day. He could have changed. If I can change, he can change, you know? I had my problems too. So I'm just kind of drying that up. And now that it's dry, we can finish our look finally. I always wait until the shadow is dry. And basically what I do is in 14mm, because again I wear glasses. You could do 16mm, which is the longest of these that you get online, and I'm going to put them on the very corner. So I go ahead and peel one off. And what these are, they're clusters. They're pre-glued on the top. There's like a sticky band on it. Now, they'll tell you they're reusable and everything, and if you put them on and then apply mascara over it, they're not going to stay on. Like, they're just not. So I just put them over my makeup, and I know a lot of people that do it do, even though it's not recommended. But I'm going to have you open your eyes really wide, and I'm just going to stick this on the very corner. Very corner, right on the lash. And then I take my finger and I kind of press it on there and hold it for like a second or two. Good. Now I'm going to take and do the other side. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and keep your eyes open. Go ahead and put this right under the lash line. Oh my God, you just saw my lips. Jesus, help us. Okay. They're not looking like that right now. They chap and they get all weird and swollen. Okay, and then I take, so for you, again, I did the 16mm, but for me, I do the 14mm, and then I take a 12mm and put it right beside that other lash. And you can see where they meet by the track with the glue on it, so all you literally have to do is just open your eyes and stick it up there. So again, now that that's stuck, we take our last one. I only use two. I never do my full eye. Whenever I went to my daughter's father-daughter dance, I went with her. I did my whole eye with it, but if you put too many of these on, it kind of hurts. I mean, sometimes they'll stay after you use your, like, you'll remove your makeup, but go ahead and open up. But it's not common for them to stay. Like, they just don't. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they're not, these shouldn't be bought for like reusables. Like, these shouldn't be bought to count to last more than 1 or 2 days. However, these did last on a motorcycle multiple times, like in like 80-90 mile per hour winds, like straight up on my face. These things stuck, but they're just not something to wear more than like a day or two, in my opinion. Like, they're just not going to work even if you do them the right way. But after I apply the lash clusters, the only thing I forgot, which I'm going to leave that up to you, is lipstick. I use 2 lipsticks. Well, I use a lip liner and a lipstick, and the brand I'm obsessed with right now, I used to use matte, if you remember. I used to use the Morphe, which was Huda Beauty's color Wifey, and then I think Morphe bought that. I don't know how it worked, but it was in the color Wifey Matte. And then I always use Jeffree Star, what the hell was that color? I used it all the time. I can't even think of it. But it was the same color. You can find it in all my other videos. Then one day I started realizing my lips were just always so dry, and even putting chapstick over them when they dried, it didn't work. So somebody was like, have you ever tried MAC lipsticks? And I was like, no. So now I have a whole, like, I have like, I don't know, like 11 lipsticks by them now. I love it. So if you're wondering what MAC lipstick I use in every video, it's in the color Teddy Bear. And then I use a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. And the reason I use that lip liner is because it came in like with the products, so it was like a lipstick and liner. I got the Pillow Talk lipstick, which I didn't like. It was too pink for me. I get everything offline because I'm self-conscious and hate going into the stores. So like I'll just like buy products and like hope they work for me. So I'm gonna leave that part up to you. Every once in a while though, and I'll go ahead and add it because we were doing Neapolitan, if you remember, with the bronzer blush, is I'll put on very, very last, and I usually do it after I set spray, is a highlight. The only highlight that's ever truly worked for me, and I don't like giving credit to her because I don't like the person she used to be, but again, people can change. But this is Jaclyn Hill Beauty in the color Extra in her highlighter. And what I'll do is I'll use my finger for it because if I use a brush, I always like do it too rough, so I'll just take my ring finger and tap, 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 and apply over here. A little bit right above the blusher that we used earlier. Right above, right on that temple right there, that corner. And the same thing on the other side. Now, all of these are add-ons, like I said, like the lip liner is extra, the highlighter is extra, but it's how I do it. So I always do lipstick last. That's probably why I forgot to bring like the 30 of them, but usually my makeup takes to like 20 to 30 minutes. I've been talking this whole time, plus the sponsors, so we're gonna be at like 55 minutes, 54 minutes. So with that being said, if you ever choose to follow my routine, expect it to be about 20 to 30 minutes, that's it. So, with that being said, again, you can click the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen and use code KarunaSatoriGift for a free gift valued at over $200 with an annual membership with FabFitFun. Thank you again, FabFitFun, for sponsoring tonight's video, and thank you so much, family, if you followed along this long. If you made it this far, comment a kitty emoji down in the comments. I love you, family, and also recommend me that setting spray, and I'll see you tomorrow.